Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. This is Danrie from Craft of Giving, and in today's video I want to share how to make this super fun, super simple, super easy little Mother's Day gift for your mum or a special mum in your life. To start this fun project, you will need to get yourself some origami strip paper like I have here. Now this comes in a wide range of colors, patterns, or even designs. I'll have some links down below for easy access. To make the stars are very easy. Grab one strip of paper and create a little loop by wrapping it around your fingers and then tucking the end a little bit through itself to create this tiny little knot at the top of your strip of paper. Now this might take a few practice goes just to get your head wrapped around it, but once you have the little sequence down pat, it's fairly simple to do. So once you've got your little knot in place, you will have a little overhang little lip here that you just push back onto itself to create a nice sharp edge, and then the longer piece of paper you need to bring forward onto itself and then start wrapping it around your little knot. Looping it around over and over, going the same direction. However, each time you're going to the opposite end of your little shape, and then just keep doing that until all your paper has been wrapped around itself. The trick here is to make sure that your edges and corners are nice and tight so that your star does not unravel once you press the little edges down. So I'm just continuing to wrap that long piece of paper all the way around itself, making sure to go to the opposite corner each time. And then once you get to the end piece, you will end up with a little lip. Now, if your lip is too short and you can't tuck it into the previous fold on the back side, just fold it down a little bit so that you can go the other side rather than the opposite side, if that makes sense. It will change every time depending how big your knot was to start with at the start of your little star. So once you have a perfectly tight little package like this and your end piece has been tucked in on itself, you then gently pinch the corners to create this star shape. Now this will puff up the pieces of paper and it will take a couple of goes to just get the hang of it without squishing the paper or it unraveling because it wasn't quite tight enough. But you should end up with a bunch of stars in various different colors if you wanted to do the rainbow shape or any sort of specific design or one color, whatever you want it to do. Then it's as easy as grabbing a nice frame, a beautiful, a little box shadow one would work really well too. I'm just using a standard photo frame here where I removed the backing and then very carefully removed the glass piece. Now be careful not to cut yourself because glass is obviously sharp. Now I'm using the back piece here to create a template for my back piece of paper that I'm going to stick my little stars onto. It's as simple as tracing the backing so that you know it's going to fit perfectly inside the frame, cutting it to size, and then get started with your design. Now I am a sucker for a good love heart, so that's why I'm using a love heart. However, you can make any shape you like. The pun here is that you're a star because your little stars are the star. Now using the demo piece of paper with a photo that came with the frame, I'm using that to create my template for where I want to stick my stars into the shape of a love heart. Now originally I wanted to make a design by just drawing one half of the heart, cutting it out. I wasn't happy with the first heart, so I tried the second heart, and again I wasn't quite happy with it, so I just went rogue and started cutting without making a new template. Lucky for me, it did work out. However, please feel free to create a template properly, and once you're happy, then cut it. Then just sticking this down by using some clips, so I don't have to use any glue that risk making the white paper stained with some sort of glue marks or whatever. So I'm just using bulldog clips to hold my little template in place that I will then use as my guide for where to stick my little stars to make a little love heart design. Then it's as simple as heating up your hot glue gun and start sticking your stars down around the outside of the template. Feel free to start in the middle, work your way out. I like to start from the outside so I have my border for my little stars. Now, as always, if you're a young person, please ask an adult to help you. Hot glue guns can be quite dangerous. I did burn my fingers, so be careful. Once you have added all your little stars around the edge, it's as simple as unclipping your bulldog clips, and then I just tore a little cut from the bottom half to loosen my template, if you like, where I could easily just lift it from underneath the stars and work my way around. Because we didn't glue anything, it slid out nice and easy, except for that little bit that teared off where it got caught in the glue. However, used some tweezers and it came right off. Now this is totally optional, but I did go ahead and added all my stars inside the design without gluing them down, just to get an idea of where I wanted my colors of my stars to be so that nothing clashes. You don't need to be as OCD about it as I was, but feel free to just start gluing your stars in. It also helped me get an indication of how many stars I needed. I did have to add an extra couple of in there after I've already folded all my little stars. I glued them all down and then made this basic little backing template plaque thing, if that's the right technical term, forgive me if it's not, where I wrote my little saying, "You're a star." Now I started in the middle by writing the A so that I could make sure that my little quote was quite in the center. Now if you do have a fancy Cricut machine, you can get this printed or cut out. You can do it any way you like. That's the beauty of crafting. There's no rules. Once you finish writing your little quote onto your plaque, it's as simple as gluing it onto your design, making sure to leave some room for where the frame needs to sit depending on your frame, and make sure it's nice and centered. I think this is such a fun project to do with the little ones to spoil your mum or a special mum figure in your life for this Mother's Day or any other day really. It doesn't need to be Mother's Day to do something special for the mother figure in your life or a special lady in your life, or just as a special gift to say that you're a star, because I am a sucker for a good pun. Look how beautiful that looks. I think it would look great even in the same color or even little pattern designs, depending on which origami pieces of strip paper you're using. Now if you like this video, please give me a big old thumbs up, leave me a comment down below, subscribe for more videos. I make videos on handmade gifts and other fun DIY projects. I thank you so much for watching, and please remember to be crafty with your giving. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you next time. Bye!